I don't think the church would be nearly as strong without the small groups, and the people in wouldn't be nearly as strong. I wouldn't be nearly as strong in my faith if it wasn't for the small groups that I'm in.
And you will certainly benefit from going to a small group because you'll get to know people better, you'll get to establish relationships with those people. It will give you a home.
Ever since I was a young child, I can remember my dad being a pastor, and they used to have small groups over at the house. And even when I was too young to really know what was going on, I can just remember the atmosphere. That even when I was growing older and would think about small groups meeting together in the house in the living room, and God was somehow at the center of it, was about all I knew. It was just something that was intriguing to me and left me feeling warm and safe even at an early age. There was just something about it I couldn't put my finger on.
Small groups have been a support group. They have increased my faith. They've helped my faith grow. They've been a way for me to minister in the community. They have provided love. They have shared. It's a time when you can open up and just be yourself. You can trust people. You know it's not going to be gossip that spreads someplace else. And it's just a wonderful experience.
Being a part of a small group is really what has tied me into this church. I started going to my small group when I first came, and I'm still with them 3 years later.
I think small groups are not only Wesleyan, they are very biblical. I think we get back to our roots of who we are as Christians when we encourage our brothers and sisters in Christ to be a part of a small group.
We are brothers and sisters in Christ, and it's hard to consider somebody a brother or a sister if you only speak to them in passing.
And a worship service that's planned for 60 or 100 people, most of which won't have a whole lot of conversation with each other, doesn't give us that chance to really form those body ties where maturity and encouragement and accountability can take place.
Those end up being your friends. Those are the people that you call day to day and think, that's a resource when some issue comes up in your life. And you share concerns about each other's children and family and medical issues, and try to raise them up when they're down, and they try and raise you up when you're down. And I think that's the impact of it.
We take care of each other, we check on each other, we celebrate together, we're accountable to each other.
One of the major benefits of a small group is that when we have new people coming into our church, it's something that we can offer to them. A ready-made support group, people can get the benefit of being lifted up in fellowship, in a social activity. They can be part of their community, they can be part of outreach, but basically a small group kind of ties you together and gives you another bind within your church.
It was a great way for me to be a part of the church on a smaller basis till I could grow into knowing everyone in the church. If I hadn't gotten tied in with my small group, I think it would have been a lot harder for me to be a part of this church and hang on and keep going until I met everyone else.
I don't think you can really have the fellowship with Christians unless you are in a small group. Just attending church on Sunday morning would not give me the support and encouragement I need, or the chance to get to know people and to get to share your faith with those who are also believers.
I would say just come to the small group, be yourself, don't feel intimidated.
That you have a place that you feel so comfortable that you can go to, that you can be yourself and that you're accepted. And so I really encourage anyone that comes in to start looking at small groups and see if they can find one that will fit their needs, because we all know that we have different needs.
To me, small groups are the lifeblood of the church. In a church like Memorial, if a person only comes to worship on Sunday morning and that's the only time that they connect with the church,
they are likely to be lost in the shuffle. They are likely to feel that it's a very impersonal place, because it's in the small groups that they connect with their brothers and sisters in Christ, that they get to know one another, that they minister to one another, and they know one another's needs. And so small groups are essential in the life of a church.